Merry Christmas, everyone. It's the Christmas episode of Aussie Tech Heads, episode 3, 2, 1, and also the end of the Mayan calendar. So I hope we're all here next week for you to listen to us again. But yes, it is the last episode of Aussie Tech Heads before Christmas, and it is the 20th of December, 2012. So I hope you've all got your shopping done. I haven't, so I'll probably do that on Monday. When's Christmas? Tuesday, something like that. Anyway, so Aussie Tech Heads is brought to you by the hosting, Aussie Tech Heads Hosting. If you're looking for fast, reliable web hosting, you need a web page, you just want a blog or something like that, you want to create a WordPress blog for yourself or just to get something off your chest, come and have a look at aussietechheads.com.au/hosting and check out some of the great plans that we've got there. And welcome to the lounge. The lounge is joining us here every Thursday night. Live as we record this, live as well. As I'm saying it now, there are people in the lounge watching live at aussietechheads.com.au/live. And also the video, once it's recorded, we put it up on the YouTube, and you can grab the video normally on Friday mornings at around about, mid-morning if all goes well. And you can grab that just off the front of the aussietechheads.com.au webpage. Click on podcast and away you go. All right, now it's time to introduce the panel for tonight, or the regular host. And there's no Eric tonight. Eric is previous engagement, and it's obviously that time of year where everyone's pretty busy. He's probably at some soiree or something, you know what he's like, eating old olives and Dom Perignon. Caviar. And so, hello and Merry Christmas to Eric. And so we better welcome Shane. How you doing? All the way from Perth, over the other side in the west. How you doing?
I'm good. Merry Christmas, everybody. All good. Everything's sorted computer-wise. I've got my lights happening. I'm not, I've got like a proper complexion this week.
Good. Yes, I've got to work on my complexion. I'm still white, but I always have been. But, can't do nothing about that. That's just this damn light that's right on top of me. And, Will, how you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Now, you, how's your computer after last week after it took a dive? Going all right?
No, it's just managing to still be alive, but it's pretty much cactus.
Oh, that's no good.
It's got to survive until well after Christmas, until into the new year before I can get a new one. So. We'll see how we go.
And every Thursday before the live recording of the show on the aussietechheads.com.au/live, we have the replay of Tech Webcast from the previous Saturday. They're always great guests and so forth on there, so check them out, techwebcast.info. No techwebcast.info next week because of the Christmas break. And also, in saying that, not too sure what will...
Your batteries just went flat there, Glenn. Yes. That's always a problem. He insists on using rechargeable batteries, and he refuses to change them before the show starts. So it's only happened probably every, third or fourth episode. It's, Actually, speaking of rechargeable batteries, he hates editing, so we'll just wing it. There's a new breed of rechargeable batteries out, which we've just got in at work. They replace the old NiCads and whatever you put in all your toys. You give the kids toys or whatever for Christmas, or you buy yourself an AR drone poodle, or things like that, and they chew batteries. There's these new ones out, and they're new technology, and they are higher capacity, but they don't lose charge. They, like a normal rechargeable, you charge up, you put it in the cupboard, and a week later it's flat. These new ones actually hold charge. They're not lipos. They're a really weird breed. A normal AA is nearly 4,000 milliamps.
Do they get that?
Cool.
I'm back.
Do they get that memory effect?
I think.
No, they don't suffer from memory effect. You're back. They're good for about 10,000 cycles, full discharge cycles. So if you don't fully discharge them, they're good for even more. And they tend to be quite cheap. They're actually really cheap now. I think they're about $2 a sale. Really cheap. They're about $2. And when you consider the life you get out of them.
I know when I
next
was working
week,
with Telstra,
because of the Christmas
and
break.
obviously I'm going
And
back
also,
10
what
years
in
or so,
saying
they
that,
were using
not
the
too
Nike
sure
batteries,
what
and the memory effect thing was a big deal.
Yep.
But I've also heard from people like Steve Gibson and that he said that he reckons
One.
that the new ones, the lithium-ion ones, they actually prefer to be topped up.
The lithium ions, the lipos, the not the NiCads, the nickel metal hydrides don't actually like being flattened. The NiCads without any battery should have actually fully discharged before you actually recharge them, because they do suffer from memory. You didn't have to do it every time, as long as you did it, once every 10 charges. But the other ones, they don't care. They don't have memory effects.
All right.
So
Okay, I'm back for the moment, and let's hope these ones last, because this is all I got. Now I'll have to go raid the remote controls. Now, look, I didn't get up my photos, but here they are now. So I'm ready for my stories. I knew there was something that I'd forgotten. And wait till that comes up. That's good. Now, as I was saying, let's go back to here. I'm going to say, where did I go? I don't know where we'll be at. And obviously nowhere, because that's blah, 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 blah. So all that's going to, most of that will get edited out. So on the video, there you go. I'm not going to edit the video. So you guys, hopefully that didn't bore you too much. Okay, so I'm going to start that one again, that sentence, because I just am. Yeah, we don't know what's going to go on next week either with us. Maybe there'll be a show, maybe not. Definitely, there's probably not going to be a live show on Thursday night. So we just have to go to just kick back, just kick it. So make sure you're subscribed on the iTunes, and if one gets pushed out any time through next week, then you'll be getting it hot off the iTunes or presses, I suppose. Doesn't come from them, but anyway. All right, now let's. What else are we up to? Let's get back into some stories. Well, before we get into the stories, we're going to move this day in tech, Shane. What's happened this day in tech over the last 2 centuries or so? You got any pearlers for us? Anything?
I do.
Anything exciting?
I do. All right. Well, we'll start with the first one. Come on, screen. Hurry up.
So the first one: build your own computer at home. What's that? What?
Yeah, I was just waiting for the story to come up.
Oh, there's stories with
December 19, 1974. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Because otherwise, build your own computer doesn't tell you much.
No, it didn't. I'm thinking, we're just going to say these titles, or but there's stories, so that makes me a bit happier. Okay.
Yeah. No, we'll leave it cryptic.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. December 19, 1974. Build your own computer at home. 1974. The Alta 8800 microcomputer goes on sale. Doesn't offer much, but it's a small start to a big trend towards small things.
Is that machine that had the screen and the keyboard and the 2 floppy drives to the side of the screen all in one sort of molded case?
No, this is a completely different thing. It's more like a box with just kind of lights and switches on it.
Mm.
It's really I've got a picture on the actual link, but I didn't put one in with my show notes.
One of them. It looks like one of those. It's there wasn't much to it. And if you've ever watched Steve Gibson's podcast, Security Now, you'll see he's got a shelf of these sitting behind him, and they just make flashing lights pretty much.
Why? Yeah. Is that what makes
you can still build them?
Right. So they don't do nothing.
Some of They do basic calculations. All those lights, it's basically like an abacus. It'll do mathematical calculations and things like that. A lot of the chipsets we use now are derived from that, like the basic clock chip that gets used in basically every electronic device ever, was first implemented in that sort of device. So it was, even though it itself didn't really do a lot of the technology we use now, this was actually really, the forefather of a lot of it.
Nice.
And back in the day, it was worth $595. And if you wanted the full thing, if you just wanted, if you wanted to forego the whole thing, and you just wanted, you
could just buy the
to build it
basic
yourself.
kit.
Yeah, $300.
Yep,
but that in today's money, that's $1,900.
Yeah, that basic kit was basically the circuit boards, the switches, and the lights, and you had to. That didn't include the case or anything like that, or the assembly.
Yeah, that computer would not have been built without the invention on December 18, 1878, which was...
And we're moving right along.
The electric light.
Yes.
You haven't obviously got the short version of the notes. You've just got all the
No, I have.
stories. Okay.
Yeah, no, I got the headlines, but I just thought you wanted me to kind of elaborate.
Nah, not too much.
All right, I'll do the abbreviated version.
All right.
December 1878, the electric light was invented.
Edison?
No, it wasn't actually.
No, he was
It wasn't
electricity, was
Edison.
he?
Yeah,
No, he
no,
stole the
we had that
electric
debate
light
last week.
That's right. Oh, deja vu. That's right.
All right, moving on.
Just to let people quickly on that, the interesting thing about that is the first electric light bulb actually had a bamboo filament.
Yeah, right.
So
Wow.
yeah, it wasn't. That's how it's made. It's made out of bamboo, so that it was still in a vacuum, and yeah, it burnt for 8 hours or something.
Yeah, sweet. All right. And accurate, what's this one? 1790. Geez, you're going back a bit there, Shane. 1790.
December 1790. Accurate calendar requires sacrifice. You dig. Basically, this is a story where in Mexico, it was a whole bunch of archaeologists discovered this calendar that they believe was just like a rock that turned out to be a calendar that they believe not the Mayan people, the Aztecs
Right.
built.
Ooh.
And they dated it back to 1790.
Wow. And 1996, big holiday bonus shows workers the money. What one's that? That sounds good.
Yes, that was a company whose name escapes me, but I did read it this afternoon. Two Japanese, I think they are. They owned a company, well-known company whose name escapes me. They basically, with the money that they made, they gave it as a Christmas bonus to all their employees. The company had about 500 employees at the time, and that worked out on average to $130,000 per employee.
Wow, that's all right. Yeah, that's good. 1996, that wasn't too long ago. And your last one on for this week is December 13, 1809.
Well, the title says it all. The first removal of an ovarian tumour.
Oh, when was the anaesthetic invented? I hope it was before 1809.
Before that.
Oh, chihuahua. All right.
It was a primitive form of anaesthetic, though, in the form of a baseball bat.
All right. Well, while you're getting over that, did you guys know that you can follow us on Twitter? What's going on?
Your inability to speak suddenly sprung up.
Oh, yeah. I thought you might have
I
been
was-
putting up some photos or some pictures for that story. I went,
Hey,
oh, no.
no, I was just going to say quickly that it's funny today in this day and age we still don't actually know how anaesthetic works.
But put you to sleep.
Isn't it
don't
just
know.
like a muscle relaxant kind of thing?
Well, no, it does multiple things. They know what the effects of it are and they know how to make it, but they don't actually know what
What
the
it-
reaction is that causes it to work.
Oh,
I know
okay.
it's like a concoction of things, and I know when I had my last operation and came out of it, I was in such a good mood.
That can be pethidine too.
I remember when I last came out, I was in so much pain, I asked for some more. Now, Twitter. That's right, Twitter. Now, you can follow us, all of us, if you want to follow us at Twitter. I'm at Aussie Tech Heads. Shane is at Shane with a Y, Shane with a Y 1973. Eric's at Eric with a K, Franco. And Will's at Mr. Tompkinson. You also email us, Glenn, Will, Shane, or Eric at aussietechheads.com.au. Now, we're going to get into some stories, and let's have a look and see what we're going to have first. I might do one first. Let's see where we land. We might land at Samsung. Samsung has ended Nokia's reign as top mobile maker. Remember, 20 years ago? Was it 20 years? 20 years ago, that every person who had a mobile phone pretty much had a Nokia. You know, I had the Nokia 51.
No, 20 years ago would have been Motorola.
No, I think
No,
I had
I'd go Nokia.
no, I had a 5110. I think was my first one. I think there might have been one before
Is that that long ago?
It's a while ago.
Oh yeah, it would be that long ago, wouldn't it?
Yep. So
Wow.
anyway, Nokia's been at the peak, at the top of the scrap heap for 14 years or so. You know, for whenever can you remember. But now it's the end. Samsung has toppled them off the perch. It has occurred, blah blah blah. So Samsung has got 29% of the market. Nokia's fallen to 24%. And Apple is at 10%. Now, this is mobile hand devices, okay? Because there's a special section for smartphones, and that means Samsung dominated the smartphone market as well, accounting for 28% of the global market compared to 20% it held last year. Now, the Samsung has widened its lead against Apple, which holds a 20% share. And Nokia, HTC, and BlackBerry Research in Motion tied for the third spot. Gee, I didn't know BlackBerry was tying up there with Nokia. My goodness. Each holding 5%.
Well, it's still all their business customers.
Yeah, they still got them, but
Yeah.
5%.
See, BlackBerry, it's all their business customers, really. That's what the only thing keeping them afloat. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Nokia's biggest problem was that it insisted on hanging on to its Symbian operating system for so long, and that's what its downfall was.
Yeah, well, anyway, I went off Nokia some time ago, and, yeah, never looked back. Now I'm on the iPhone, never looked back. All right.
I mean...
Oh, what do you got up there, Will? Galaxy Note 2.
Yeah, Samsung's doing a lot of stuff at the moment, speaking of Samsung, and the Galaxy Note 2 has just been released to Telstra stores. It's on their $67 plan, which is actually wrong because it's on their $66 plan. It's 1 gig of data, unlimited SMS, and $600 worth of calls. It has been upgraded to 4G, which is pretty cool because originally it wasn't actually going to come out in 4G. So that's pretty neat. So that will be the phone I will be getting in the new year.
Is that the one that? How big is it? That's a large.
That's the 5.4 or something. The other one that you had up there before was the S3. It's a 4.6, something like that. So it's a bit bigger than that again.
But how are you going to put that in your pocket?
It'll fit. I mean, I can carry a 7-inch tab in my back pocket. So.
Oh, jeez.
You know.
Yeah. Wow.
But
until you sit down.
Yeah, you don't sit down.
Well, I was looking at stories for this week's show earlier on tonight, and I thought, it's Christmas. There's not going to be too many stories going on around the place, but there was heaps of stories, and for some reason, maybe because it's just all mobile sort of phone stories, and it's probably because everything else is closed, and that's the only thing out there is mobile phones. But sticking with that, the Luminas have sold out apparently. So this is the Nokia. Once again, so they're doing something right, but the Lumina 920 and the 820, which uses the Microsoft's Windows 8, the latest Windows 8. Mm-hmm. So they've apparently been reported to have sold out overseas, I think, in Europe and America, as retailers say supplies have been short ever since their launch. Nokia is churning through the cash. They're obviously trying to play catch up, obviously falling percentage wise in dominance in the market and everything. They're throwing a lot of cash at all these type of things. They're pinning their hopes and dreams on the Microsoft platform obviously taking off. So many believe that Nokia will need to change its strategy and its leader. So that's a big call. If there is no clear improvement in the Lumina sales in the coming quarters, speculation of a buyout by Microsoft have periodically lifted the Nokia shares. So there you go. So well, obviously there's little rumours around there, and yeah, Microsoft and Nokia makes sense to me.
So
makes
you're
sense.
Aware. No, that's it. So you're aware too. Either the chat room's gone down or my computer's about to crash because it crashes in sections. So if I go away, that's what's happening.
Okay, well, it looks to me that the lounge is still going as far as I can see. But so we'll keep pushing along. And if you drop out, well, you'll have to drop back in. So Microsoft and Nokia, well, Google and Motorola, they jumped into bed together, didn't they? Google bought out the Motorola. Looks like that's the way things are going to happen. And someone's got to make money out of it somewhere. Yeah.
The only thing with these statements, like, they've sold out and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, if they've only made, 1 million phones and they've sold out versus, say, Apple, who's made, 100 million phones, then, you're not really comparing apples with apples.
Yeah, and it's not so much that either. They've only sold out of, like, they basically filled pre-orders and had a few left over. So it's not like it was a first day sellout. So
yeah. But anyway, so time will tell. Look, I think the Windows phone's going to be pretty good. Like, I wouldn't mind having a look at it. I would probably have one. Look, they're going to bring out they've got their Surface coming out. They've got the Surface Pro coming out, which is going to be a lot better. And then if they got these Windows phones coming out, Windows Phone 8, and it's all going to be compatible and sync and all this sort of stuff, it's a whole new world. I think it'll go all right. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to go all right. Now, what else have we got? Anyone got any more telephone stories? Telephone stories.
Got a heap of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems to be all I've managed to find.
Oh, well, pick one up then, or you too. Pick one up and go with it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all talking about, all these tablets coming out of China and all that now. Australia is getting in the mood of making an Australian-made Android tablet for under $300, and you think, oh yeah, it's going to be one of those crappy little things, but it's actually going to be a really good little processor, really good little tablet. It'll be, it'll have 16 gig of built-on storage. It'll be running, where am I? It'll be 1.6 processor, so it could be quad-core processor, so it'll be really quick. It'll have all the usual Wi-Fi and all that sort of stuff. 2 gig of storage, memory, 5 megapixel cameras, and it's going to have a. They're going to call it at the moment the working title is Aussie Pad. It'll come out with
nice.
Android 4. Hopefully they'll change that. But it's going to come with a dock as well, in much the same way the Transformer does. So that'll be pretty neat.
Yeah, nice.
10-inch. So yeah.
Now, did you have any stories about mobile, Shane? I don't know if you
The
did.
closest I've got one to do with a mobile phone is the Samsung, not the Samsung, I think it is a Samsung. No, Android. Android botnet abuses people's phones for SMS spam.
Oh, no.
In a new twist, spammers have built a botnet that sends SMS spam through infected Android phones, shifting the potentially pricey cost of sending spam to victims. The trend, spotted by security vendor CloudMark, poses a new challenge for operators. Victims whose phones are sending SMS spam often do not know the phones are infected, obviously, until they get their bill. And then they could have their accounts suddenly shut down by their operator if abuse is detected. So in other words, if they think that you are spamming people.
Also, they should have their phones shut down.
Yeah, so basically what it does is it talks to the mothership or like a host server, which apparently is based in or located in Hong Kong. Well, that's where it was at the time this story was written. And to the point where it goes on to say that they send out a whole bunch of SMSs. If the phone gets turned off and turned back on again, it automatically kind of talks to the mothership and then sends out more SMSs. It says here that when connected, the rogue command and control servers, the victim's phone receives a list of around 50 phone numbers along with the spammy text. So it's not necessarily spamming people from your contact list or anything like ones have done in the past. It actually gets the numbers and the SMS from from these host servers.
Well, I picked up a little malware story today as well. Some going along the similar lines. Now we've got here malware strain wipes hard drive. Now, according to Kaspersky Threat Post blog, this bug is capable of deleting all the files on drives D through to I. Nasty, as well as on the desktop. Once the data is deleted, the program then launches a check disk command in an apparent attempt to divert attention towards a possible system failure as opposed to a planned attack. Now, at this point, the malware, which has been dubbed a Trojan batch wiper. So the attacks launch only on the specifically programmed dates, including dates last week from December 10 through to December 12. The configuration of the code leads the Kaspersky boffins and virus doyens to believe it will become active again for 2 days, starting on January 21. At this point, it does appear likely to stand down until May 6. Subsequent attacks are likely to appear July and November of next year, May and August of 2014 and February 2015. Someone kill this thing, please. According to a post in the Alien Vault blog, the malware is likely deployed through USB drives and spear phishing. Spear phishing. Now, just to bring you up to speed on spear phishing. Now, everyone knows what phishing is. Phishing is where, a social engineering tactic where the attacker attempts to get a user to divulge sensitive information. So it such acts as like bait. Tells a user that they are it sends the person the email saying, hey, this is your bank. They might have the bank's logo and all this sort of stuff. We need your account number because of whatever reason, security threat. Would you confirm your password? Blah blah blah. So that's a straight out and out fish. That's a phishing. Now a spear phishing is whereas general phishing targets a wide range of people, that's phishing, trying to get some of them to divulge general information. Spear phishing targets key individuals who are expected to have very special access or information that the attacker wants. Now, this is where this Trojan dot batch wiper is coming from. They believe that it might be a spear phishing attack rather than phishing. So us little plebos, we might be all right yet. So that's good to hear. But and sticking with spam and all this sort of carry on, I don't know if you guys heard, there was a school in Byron Bay, and apparently from reading the story, there's more and more of these happening. This is just the latest one. So the latest one, I'll tell you a bit about the other ones in a sec, but the latest one is a reseller saves Byron Bay school from scammers. There's a school at Byron Bay with about 100 kids in it. And an attacker got into the computer records, into the computer system, encrypted it all up, and demanded a $5,000 ransom to obviously unencrypt all the data. Now, a local dude, let me find his name because he deserves a bit of a pat on the back. Byron Community Primary School Financial Manager Frank Binkley. What? Binkley said the school recovered most of the records by running forensic probe on the affected hard disk. Oh, forensic probe, I love it. With help from local reseller High Performance Technologies. Oh, good on you. And its manager, Liam Duffy. Yeah, good on you, Liam. We were, and this is Binky, whatever his name is, this is him. We were bloody lucky. We came out a lot better than what we could have. The past month's financial data and some historical photos of the school were unrecoverable and remained bound in the AES 256 encrypted RAR file. So there you go. That was all going crazy. He reckons it's all little script kiddies going off their little brains, trying to do all this and do the ransom. Now, what they did, they demanded $5,000 to unrar it all, and apparently the Binky just got over there and said, rang him up or emailed him and said, listen, we're only a school of 100 kids. We're not paying $5,000. They said, all right, we'll discount it. They discounted it to like $1,300 or something. So that was a good negotiation. Well, if you're going to discount something, you're not going to go from they did from 5,000 to 1,300. Wouldn't you go to 5,000 to maybe 4.5, something like that? But anyway, that's how it worked. That's how it did. Now there was other ones. The other ones that are similarity in this attack were against a small business about 500k away in Foster, a Dean's what? Business operator, I don't know, some place. The records contain data on school kids. The company ferried around the area and were critical to the daily operation of the business. As a result, he paid $3,000 ransom. In another attack this month, scammers used remote desktop protocol to break into the Gold Coast Medical Centre. I heard about this. Encrypt 65,000 files, including medical records, with an SQL database and demanded $4,000 ransom. Oh, it just goes on. And in September, Northern Territory Business was forced to pay $3,000 ransom to hackers who had just encrypted its financial records. Sophos Director of Technology Strategy, James Lynn, predicted that ransom infections will increase next year with a massive increase in the quality of the implementation. Will, how are we going to get out of these things? How do we protect ourselves?
Back up.
Yes, that's good.
Disconnect from the internet.
Offsite backup, a non-volatile backup. It doesn't matter. Businesses, schools, everybody, people really should be constantly backing up, but even once a week. But schools, businesses, it should be every night. When the system's unattended, it backs up. The absolute worst thing that's going to happen, you're going to lose one day's trading.
That's right. So you think that
so all these people who are whinging, bitching, and complaining about it are taking away the fact that their security protocols and their backup regimes and their IT management staff is inept, and they're covering up by saying, oh, there's hackers, blah, blah. There's always going to be somebody trying to do something bad. But the job of the IT support staff is to find a way around that.
Well, you got to back up just for your own, not just your safety, but safety of your data, but just because you could have a hard drive crash. Same thing.
But it's the 3-2-1 rule. You need 3 backups in 2 different locations, and one of them has to be offsite. It's just the way it works. You've got to have multiple backups. You've got to have them out of the building in case the building catches on fire. You've got to have them not only on an internet server or not on one server in case that server goes down. Worst case scenario, burn a disk, send it to, hire a bank vault or send it to your grandma or something,
Yeah. Yep.
There's you've got to have if you physically have the data in a non-volatile media. So in other words, not a USB stick, or I guess the new USB, the proper data storage stuff, like the verbatim stuff that's designed for data storage. Things like the Kodak Gold or the verbatim data discs that are the 100-year discs.
Oh yeah, those
things
fellas.
like that.
Yep.
You know, they're fine. Plugging a USB hard drive into your computer and backing up to that hard drive 3 inches away from your computer is not a backup.
No,
And also putting data onto an external hard drive and then deleting it off your computer is not a backup.
So you sound like you're talking from past experience, not your personal past experience, but past experience dealing with customers and so forth.
I used to deal, when I was in Melbourne, I did a massive rollout at one of the universities down there. And their backup regime consisted of backing up the server configuration, effectively.
Mm.
That's all they backed up. They backed up like the login usernames and passwords. They backed up the databases that the server ran off. They backed up the server files. There's thousands of students and teachers and clients, information on there that was not backed up. None of the third-party stuff is backed up.
I'll tell you,
we're doing a massive network rollout. We're putting in another 10,000 network junctions throughout the university, and we said to them, we need you to back up your server because something will go wrong doing this many data port installs.
Yeah.
Something will happen. Something will go wrong. You need to have backups. Sure enough, something happened. Something went wrong. They didn't have backups. And this is a major university we're talking about with a IT support staff of like 30 people.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you got to do it. I know we've banged on about it before, and it's important because I every week or so I'll come across someone, not that they've lost data, but I'll say to them, "Have you backed this stuff up?" I'll go out their joint or something as a routine course. I'll say, "Oh, have you backed all this up?" "Oh, no." "What do you mean?" I went, "Oh, yeah, right."
That's
right.
right.
Well, you got to back it up. So so look, I've got my offsite backup is the Crash Plan with crashplan.com. That's my offsite. As I've said before, I probably shouldn't. I don't want to bore you with it, but I've got I back up, so data's on the server. I back up to external hard drives that sit in the house, and then the Crash Plan is offsite. And hopefully, if I ever have a crash, and me server's redundant too for the more sensitive data, like the Aussie Tech Head episodes.
What do you got, like a raid going on?
Yeah, similar. It's like it's Windows Home Server, and it's so it just
so
knows.
It's a NAS basically.
Yeah. So it actually knows. I'm not too good with raids and all this sort of stuff. But can you get a raid? Because with the way the Windows Home Server works, is that it purposely will back up or duplicate a file on another hard drive, like rather than just. That's
a raid. I think a raid 5 and a raid 7. There's two different.
It's like a mirror.
Main raids. There's mirroring, which is like raid 5 or something.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that actually, I can't remember what they call it. Redundant, I think. Redundancy.
That must.
But what it does is it basically takes 4 drives and turns them into 2. So it actually splits the data. It splits the data over all 4 drives.
Yes.
And any 2 of those 4 drives can fail, and you can still get your data back.
Yeah. So that's how.
RAID 0 is mirroring, RAID 1 is striping, RAID 5 is the parity, so you have 3 hard drives and it uses the third for parity, so if one goes, you've still got the others. And then RAID 10 is the one that you just mentioned, RAID 10 is where it mirrors and it stripes at the same time.
Yeah, right. Oh, good stuff. Now, I think we've done that with that, haven't we? So... yeah, we've done with that. Now, I think, Shane, you got a little story there about Dick Smith. No one likes to buy a lemon. And there's an item here that looks like, so you got to take it back because it has another problem with internal batteries.
Yeah, there's some DVDs and they go back to 2009. DVD models, Dick Smith 7-inch portable DVD media player, catalogue number D6200, D6201, D6203, and GE4203. They're all portable DVD players. 3 of them are 7-inch and one of them's 9-inch. And it goes on to say that Dick Smith are recalling a range of portable DVD media players dating back to November 2009 due to risks posed by internal batteries. The retailer said that 4 Dick Smith branded devices purchased across Australia and New Zealand between November 2009 and July 2012, so that's like 3 years worth, should be returned for internal lithium-ion rechargeable batteries may overheat and pose a fire risk.
Oh, Will, what's going on here? Why is there so many? What's the
I
problem
bet you
with
what
batteries?
they've done. I bet what they did was they made 1 million of the devices back in 2007. They sat in a warehouse till 2008. 2009, Dick Smith goes, "Hey, we'll buy those," and it's taken until 2012 to get rid of them. So the batteries and the things are 5 years old.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's what's happened. Yeah, and being non-replaceable, obviously. But it does happen. Anything that's got a battery, you can buy a laptop. If it's been sitting in the back of the warehouse for 18 months, the battery's not going to be any good by the time you get it. So
Yeah. Yep.
any device that has a battery that hasn't been maintained is going to have a problem. Especially if it's old.
Now, Will, here's a story that might make you switch to the big blue Telstra. Here's one, because I know you like your data. There's talks about Telstra's release, or not going to. Well, there's talks, okay, about them making up a terabyte plan. Now, how does that go? How does that sit with you? You'd love it.
It's going to be.
Yeah, it costs an
I'm already on a terabyte plan, so.
Yeah, but apparently last year or 2010, Telstra toyed with the idea, and it was a big no-no. They couldn't see any reason for it. And now this year, it's only a rumour. We check our plans all the time, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But it's just they haven't ruled it out this time. It's what the actual words.
Yeah, but it'll be like $1,100 a month or something.
Yeah, but I think as things go down, as things progress. There's more data, more people are downloading TV shows and all this sort of stuff. So obviously the plans have got to increase somewhere. Look, honestly, I'm on a 200 gig plan, and I only use about a half of that. I don't really use much.
Yeah, I've dropped down on the terabyte plan I was on. They wanted to bump up by $15, so I went to the 500 gig plan, which was actually $30 cheaper, and we've actually come close to it once, but we were downloading a whole heap of stuff for weddings and stuff like that. I had like 4 different weddings I had to DJ, so I had 4 different video playlists that I had to download off YouTube in HD. So, and as I said, that's an extreme case, but generally, yeah. Look, the biggest problem is Telstra is fine. I mean, I'm with them for mobile phone. Their coverage is okay. It's the best coverage you can get. It's still sucky occasionally, but they're expensive, and this is the biggest problem with them. For the average person who doesn't need that particular coverage in that area or doesn't need a particular service that they offer, they're not going to go with Telstra because they're, for an example, my in-laws, they finally got with the program, and they've now wanted a computer and stuff, so.
Give them your old one.
Had to get them. Yes, it's just the old one I had laying around, just the 1.6. It runs Facebook, which is all they wanted, so I'm happy.
Give them this 1.2.
But they were with Telstra for their home phone, and they were paying $89 a month just for their home phone through Telstra.
Yeah,
and
it's up there.
So I shopped around, and I went with iiNet to get internet and home phone for $69.
Yes. Yep. Oh, well, home. Yeah, it's not going to make much difference there. But yeah,
it's actually cheaper to not be with Telstra.
Yeah. Well, in my circumstances, look, I'm more than happy with the mobile coverage from Telstra. I know it does cost a tiny little bit more, but more than happy. More than happy. The last one I had, and look, where was I the other night? Someone was telling me about their new phone or something. I said, all right, let's do a speed test. So I was on Telstra, they were on Optus, and my speed test came back something like 3G. It was like 20 down and 2 or 3 up, I think it was. And then theirs on the old Optus couldn't even get started. Like had all the full bars, but just wouldn't start. Couldn't even find the server. Like that's just where it used to frustrate the hell out of me on that when I was with Virgin. You had full bars, but you just couldn't get anywhere, and that's what frustrated the crap out of me. But anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to another story here. What else have I got here? Oh, now Google. Let's have another little Google story. Now Google offers free Quick Office app to Google Apps subscribers. Now apparently, this Quick Office, this app from Google, you put on your iPad, it lets you work with the Microsoft Office documents. So apparently at the moment it's free if you're with the Google Apps, if you're a Google Apps subscriber. But if not, you can still get it, and it's around about $8, something like that. So so again, I can't see, like, without using it and without like even touching it, I can't see how good it would be. Fair enough. I can see word processing is great. I can't see how Excel documents, because Microsoft Excel is quite intricate, with its ways it does things, and there's a lot of functionality in Excel, and I can't see how Google you can play with those documents. Like, I can't see, but anyway, there must be a way. There must be something. I don't know how they would do it. There must be APIs that let you do it. So anyway, it must work. Otherwise, it must work. It's Google. It must work. It must work. Now, I think Shane and I both have this story about Instagram. Have you got the Instagram story, Shane?
Which one are you talking about?
With the change to the copyright? Or that sounds
Which
like
one? The first one?
Yeah, the one where
sounds like a no.
Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I've got one where it says Facebook and Instagram basically sharing your data, which has got people up in arms.
But they've changed it again too.
Yes, well, apparently.
Yeah, you do your story anyway, Glenn.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Bill?
earlier this week, Instagram came out. Well, no, they didn't come out. Maybe that they've changed their terms of service and what it read and how it read and what most people understood it to read and to mean was that your photos that you upload were now going to be made available to Instagram advertisers and the like.
That's right.
Yep. to use your photo in their promotional material without consent or compensation to you. Now, this got the whole joint up in arms, went crazy, as you expect it would, and look, to do something like this, I think Facebook tried to go down this path a little while ago as well, but that you can't do it. Like, I understand that this might be they're trying to make money. Obviously, this is just another little way. They're to plan their model, so they've got to make money, so to survive. Everyone's got to do it. But I mean, yeah, it's so competitive out there. Like, you got Instagram, it's pretty popular, but it's not going to be popular if they start doing this sort of stuff because people will move on. They'll move, and it's easy enough for people to move on now. Like Instagram today, something else tomorrow. So by forcing people to move on faster is a big no-no. But anyway, so since the furor and all the arms getting thrown up in the air, which could be seen from space, they've came out and they've clarified. They've tried to clarify what they've meant, which means that they've backflipped. So Kevin Systrom, the co-founder of Instagram, has said, since making these changes, we've heard loud and clear that many users are confused and upset about what the changes mean. I'm writing this today to let you know we're listening and to commit to you that we will be doing more to answer your questions, fix any mistakes, and eliminate the confusion. To be clear, it is not our intention to sell your photos. We are working on updated language in the terms to make sure this is clear. So updated language, like everyone gets confused in their own gobbledygook by the sounds of it. The upcoming policy change, which apparently is still going through, but obviously they're going to change the language somehow. But as it states in part, to help us to deliver interesting paid or sponsored content or promotions, you agree that a business or other entity may pay us to display your username, likeness, photos, along with any associated metadata and or actions you take in connection with a paid or sponsored content or promotion without any compensation to you. Now, that to me is, I can't get very confused with that. That is pretty straightforward for gobbledygook legal stuff. But so that's how it goes. That's how it was written. But look, our good friend PA down there in the cold Canberra, or no, the hot Canberra in the summer, isn't it? He said to me that he had a good idea. We'll just throw watermarks on everything. That's a good idea. So yeah, if you had to stick with Instagram, we could just throw watermarks on everything before we chucked them up. So good on you, PA. Good work. Now, was that
well?
Yes.
To start with, you should be watermarking all your photos anyway, so that's nothing unusual.
I don't. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Really?
And the good ones I do, because I have had them stolen. But the thing is, okay, the new policy and the way the old policy reads is basically exactly the same. I've read them both, and I wasn't confused with the old one, but apparently people were. Basically, they're saying there's not no intention to sell photos. They're working with, Instagram was created to become a company right from the start. So one of the ways that they're advertising is they use the photos that are used with their service for advertising. So they, provide context and things like that. Ownership rights basically saying the users own their content. Instagram doesn't have any ownership rights to your photos. Nothing about that's changed. And nothing's changed with the control you have over who can see your photos. If you set it to private, Instagram only set it to private. Now, what I don't understand is Instagram is being bought by Facebook.
That's right.
Facebook doesn't have any privacy. So why do people, part of the thing I don't understand is, whoops, what did I do? Oh, great.
We've still got audio. Your video might have...
Yeah, no, I've managed to somehow close everything. But basically, Facebook doesn't really, they do the same thing. Like if they want to use one of your images in their adverts, they can. That's part of the thing they do. What it really comes down to is people have to realize that rather than blaming Facebook or rather than blaming Instagram or anything like that, they have to realize that everything you put on the internet, regardless of whether you put it on Facebook, regardless of where it goes, is on the internet. Anything that's on the internet can be stolen, legitimately or not.
Fair game,
It's on the internet. The public will see it. The public will do what they want. If another company who's not even associated with anything you've done wants to use something you've created, you're not even going to know about it. Fair chance. You're not even going to have a clue that they've done that.
No, that's right.
You're just going to, just going to go along with it.
So I think you can get apps, can't you, that will just automatically watermark. So
most apps will do that, but it's and if you're interested, you can go to the Instagram website. They've got a plain as blog up there that's all shared in normal English, nothing special. But basically, I mean, what you read on here is what you would expect to find on any business that's providing a free service that you are using. They need a way to publicize their business, and that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah. What about? It's not so bad for Fred and John and Mary down the road, but I mean, what about the people that have got a brand around people, like your athletes and movie stars and TV stars and all that kind of stuff? I mean, they've got sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff, and don't they have a right to sort of say, well, you can't use my image, my brand, to potentially advertise a product or a company that is a competitor to someone I've already got a relationship with?
But I guess
I like your world.
But I guess the thing is that well, what do you do? So okay, so say company XYZ, big company over in the US, then they take a photo of, say, I don't know, Stephanie, or someone takes a photo of Stephanie Rice. They've got no idea who she is. They've seen the photo. Yep, okay, I'm going to use that photo of that girl, that swimmer girl. I'm going to use that in our promotion. So then it just becomes then up to Stephanie to be aware of that photo and then go through the aggro of trying to get it taken down if she wants it taken down. Look at the aggro that Lara Bingle went through, for that photo of her in the shower. If she had to just shut her mouth, it just would have gone away. But it just it grew into a big mountain for her.
And part of the problem we have now is this whole fair use thing. Like, to start with, the fair use laws are different in every country. So if you're using an app that's based in another country, whose laws... And this is the thing with globalization. Every country has different laws. So if something's legal in one country and I'm using their app or I'm using their service, and part of their terms of service says, hey, we're doing this, we don't even have to tell you, but we're going to anyway. But it's illegal in the country I'm using it from, or there's different laws. Like, it's the same thing with fair use. With celebrities, for the most part, their photos are, because they're a public figure, they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. So anything that's taken inside their house or wherever you would expect reasonable privacy is not technically allowed to be published. Anything that's in a beach or a motel, like a hotel or a restaurant, anything like that where there is no expectation of privacy is fair game, and anybody's allowed to do it. So, the problem is the law's so messed up, and there's so many, little strands of laws that it's...
Because, I went to some sort of function thing at Movie World the other night, and I filmed their Christmas parade, on my phone, they had some trailers coming past and all this. So I thought, I'll pump that up to YouTube, just for something to do, as you do. And then I started getting all these takedown notices because the music in the background. I'm thinking, I'm allowed to publish this video because it's in a place where they expect you to be filming. They don't disallow cameras or anything, so you're filming away. But I got pinged for the music that was playing in the background. So I just said, wasn't that song? But I just said, that's crazy. I said, look, I'm just using it as fair use. I said the music in the background is not part of the video. It's not supposed to be. It doesn't form part of what I'm doing. So go and ask them. Because
that's right.
It's just a bot anyway, and it's got to. What you do, I think, when you dispute it, it goes back to the owner, the copyright owner, and then for their decision. So
it's changing a lot too. YouTube's getting better with it. They actually are putting the emphasis on the party who wants to claim the dispute now. They have to prove that it's not fair use before they can do a takedown notice. So it is actually getting better slowly. And
I also noticed today, now I'm not sure if this is the same with video yet, but I'll get a takedown notice tomorrow for this show. But so I'll find out tomorrow. But with the audio, they said, when they said, listen, we've got a problem with some audio in your video, they actually said you can push this button here and it'll take to the spot where we've got a problem with it. And I went, push, and it took me to where there was a problem, because normally when there's a problem with the video,
I bet it was Eric swearing, wasn't it?
No, this was the Movie World video, and but in the video of the show on the Aussie Tech Head video, normally when I get these notices, it just says we've got a problem with something in your hour-long video. I'm not telling you where it is, not telling you what it is, but ABC owns the copyright. And then and you've got to say, well, why have you played it? And you go, well, I'm thinking, well, first of all, I just go back with them that it's all fair use because it's a news/review type of show, which is totally allowed. And,
that's the other thing too. How do you actually categorize when you put the category up? How do you put your category up in YouTube?
As in what, the genre
for the show? What category do you put it under?
So, technology.
Okay. See, I've never had a takedown notice, but I put mine under news. So I wonder if the filters work differently, expecting different...
Possibly. Because news and reviews, you're allowed to reproduce anything within reason.
See, everything I put up goes under news, regardless of what it is.
Right.
And I've put entire film clips up, and I've never had issues, so...
Okay. Oh, that's the secret, Will. That's the secret.
So put it up on the news.
All right. So we'll find out tomorrow. If they've improved their, let you know what it's actually they're being offended by. Now, Shane, you got to follow up from a story from last week, I think it was. The Perth woman who had the bill shock of a telephone bill of $148,000.
Yeah, at the time we were doing the story, we didn't know who she was or where she was from, and we thought it was a bit weird that she might have racked up that amount. But
We did.
she's from Perth, so she's from Perth, so she can't be all that bad. A mother who racked up mobile phone bill of almost 148,000 while on an overseas holiday says that she is threatening to take legal action against Telstra over the ordeal. Mystery still surrounds how the massive bill was occurred, given Nella Panetta's insistence that she's
See, it's those foreign names.
Manually.
They get you every time.
yeah. Insistence that she's manually switched off her global roaming, sending on her handset a few days into a trip.
Oh, so she's used it
basically, yeah.
So
She used it for a couple of days, racked it up $150,000, and then turned it off. Apparently.
Do. All right. So,
But, I mean, for her to actually turn it off, that means that she would never have received any phone calls while she was away because the calls wouldn't have come through.
that's right.
Basically, how international roaming works from a call charge point of view is you get charged for making calls, obviously. You get charged for ringtone, whereas you don't in Australia. You get charged for receiving calls. You get charged for... If the person tries to ring you and they just get ringtone, you get charged. You get charged for making and receiving SMSs, mainly because I'm going back 15 years when I was working with Telstra, mainly because phone companies can't charge the higher rate for the person originating the call because there's no guarantee that they're aware that the person happens to be overseas at the time. So they're not going to be aware that they're making an international call. So that's why the receiver has to pick up most of the charge.
Yep. Yeah, that's no good. So what was
It's still a bloody scam this day and age. That's all it is. This is money making. But I mean, I know of three friends of mine who have actually rung Telstra a month before they're due to go away and said on this date we need, they've actually set up the whole international business package deal thing. And they've got the confirmation code, it's all good. They get back and they've got a $50,000 phone bill because Telstra hasn't bothered to switch it over. So Telstra's probably more than likely to blame, I would say, because they seem to be useless. So
yeah. Anyway, that's still just going through wherever that's going through, and we'll keep an eye.
Yeah, it's going through the courts and the ombudsman and all that kind of stuff. Telstra dropped it initially, some huge amount, but obviously the lady still wasn't happy with that.
Oh yeah, well, why would you? I don't think it was. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be paying any more than a couple $100. I don't think they dropped it 147,800. But but anyway. But another little one I got here. What else have I got here? I got one here, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think we talked about this a little while ago, maybe last year sometime, when the Dead Sea Scrolls were being scanned and imaged with the help of Google. Now, apparently there have been some posted up onto the website. Google is working in partnership with the Israel Antiques Authority. They've posted about 5,000 images of the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls online last Tuesday. Now, pieces of this text, going online, include one of the earliest known copies of the Book of Deuteronomy. Yeah, which holds the Ten Commandments. So this is obviously ancient gobbledygook. The images also include part of the book of Genesis, which describes the creation of the world. Now, when I mean gobbledygook, let's just let me clarify before I get in trouble about that.
I thought you should do that. Yeah.
Is the Hebrew writing? It's squiggles. Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are considered...
I don't think you really kind of made that any better, Glenn.
Well, that's what I meant. The Dead Sea Scrolls, true. The Dead Sea Scrolls, which are considered to be of great historical and religious importance, are biblical manuscripts written more than 2,000 years ago on parchment and papyrus. They include the earliest known surviving copies of the biblical documents. There are about 972 texts that were discovered on the northwest shore of the Dead Sea between 1946 and 1956. Now, only 5 conservators worldwide are authorised to handle these Dead Sea Scrolls. So there you go. And look, there's a little picture of one.
It's so fragile.
Yeah, like you can go to the web page and you can actually that you scroll through it, so it's like a scroll. Like you scroll through the image, so it's not too
You know,
bad.
get Google Translate to work on that. We know how accurate that is.
Yeah, well, how come I get pages? I go to pages totally in English, and it says, "Oh, this page is in Czech. Would you like to translate?" I go,
You must have your settings somewhere.
no, I don't know, but
You've done something weird because you had that problem a while ago too.
yeah, oh yeah, I know. I've had it since I started using it. And what else have I got? Well, has anyone got any other stories? You got any stories, Will? I didn't see your show notes, but have you got anything?
That's because I didn't get time. Invoice to Go is obviously, as the name suggests, it's an invoicing system. It's also Australian made. It's really good. I actually use the beta version or the demo version on my phone, which limits you to 3 customer invoices or something, but I only use them for cash. I usually mainly use it for the stock management part of it. But it does the full invoicing. It does stock management. It does all that sort of stuff. But basically, they've redesigned it now. The layout's a lot better. They have had it on your mobile for a while, but it's been pretty flaky, and it's required a server to set up to get the data off, so you didn't cross-mogenate your data and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all actual a legit Android app now.
Yeah, nice.
It does really good. It does invoices, inventory, customer databases, saves it all to the cloud, does GST, does everything you'd expect, VAT for outside Australia, and does currency conversion, does everything you'd expect a program to do. It's really surprisingly cheap for what it does. It also does all your letterheads, prints remotely, does all that sort of stuff, fax, email,
How much?
all that sort of stuff.
Did you say how much?
Depending on what you go for, it starts off free to start with, so you can trial it, and then there's different prices depending on which particular level. There's the starter pack, the pro, or the enterprise, just depending on what you want to go. If it will load for me, which it probably won't because my computer's.
Is it a monthly fee? That's a subscription.
There's a couple of different ways of doing it. You can pay by the month, but it is actually cheaper to buy it in bulk. But to give you an idea, the starter pack is $49, and it only allows one user, but it allows that on the PC as well as the Android phone. And it allows 100 invoices, 100 quotes, all that sort of stuff. But you don't really get the benefit from it until you pay the Pro version, which is $99 is the start, and then $149 for the Enterprise. But with $99, does automatic backup, does priority support, has unlimited invoices and things like that. It also does the cool stuff, which is your statements to go, the calendar to go, receipts to go. So all the stuff that gets emailed out and all the customer management side of it, the scheduling, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and if you pay for $149, that allows you 5 users to share the same database for your invoicing and all that sort of stuff. So there is. So
it works for you?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I only use the free one because one, I'm cheap, and secondly, that's all I need. It's got 3 different customers, so I can have a cash sale, or I can have a couple of regular customers. But it has unlimited inventory, unlimited stock management, all that sort of stuff. So it's fine. I like it. It's easy to use. There was another actually they're still around called BizWiz. That's another Australian software, but they kind of
I started with them.
Yeah, BizWiz, going back to BizWiz like 5 and 6, back when it was still DOS based, was at the time it was one of the most effective business programs you could use, and yet it was so simple. And then MYOB come out, and Quicken come out, and all these other ones come out, and suddenly invoicing got complicated. Invoice to Go takes you back to the days when things were simple. You click a button, you put in the price, you send in the invoice.
Yeah, easy. Can you so emails, invoices?
Yeah, emails. It also can send them to remote printers if you've got remote printers set up. to
Oh,
remote faxes if you've got that set up. It can do all sorts of stuff. It's really neat.
Well, now
And I was gonna say, does it? What's the word? Keep track of people who are overdue and all that kind of stuff. Is it a
Yeah, it
full
does all
blown
your
accounting?
accounting. That handles all that. Handles you can set up CODs, or you can set up accounts 30, 60, 90, whatever. Set up your reminders. You can set it up so that it automatically sends out reminders. So after their 30-day account's up, you haven't actually got to manually send it out. It will send it out automatically. It does remittance. It does everything like that. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, so it sounds all right. Now, I will tell you what I use, because I know we're getting excited about these invoicing tools, because I did look for hours. I looked for hours. I tried a few different ones as well. And this is on the iPad, iOS now. So the one that I settled with was fairly cheap, and it was called Quick Sale. Now, it to me works pretty good. Now, this is Quick Sale by IntelliSense. So anyway, it's Quick Sales. So look for the right one. I think there's a couple there, but this one's Intelli and then Xence. So yeah, so this one pretty much fully featured invoicing as well. I didn't like the monthly plan version of things, so that's why I kept looking. Found this, and you just buy it from iTunes. And I think after you buy all the modules, I think there's 3 modules, it ends up costing you about $30, and it does stock. It does the invoices. It does Dropbox backup. So it's full featured as well. I'm pretty happy with that. You can swipe your credit card in it and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it's still a US based credit card swiping system.
Yeah,
But
you can do that with Invoice to Go too. It also accepts PayPal.
oh yes, yeah. Well, but this one will probably come out with all that. But at the moment, it's I might have to have a look into it, because it's been a while since I've looked into the guts of the workings of it. But with the PayPal, look, I'm happy with the PayPal here. They send you out the little card reader. You stick it into your iPad or your iPhone. You swipe the customer card through it, and bang. Away you go. Pretty safe and secure. I think I was telling you about this the other week. The customer signs your phone in the signature spot, and there's no way you get that back. You can't go home and print the JPEG out of the signature or anything like that. It disappears. So it's safe and secure. But yeah, the IntelliSense Quick Sale, that's the one. If you're on the iOS, iPad only, this one. PDF receipt or email with a PayPal link, which is of great excitement for me. So people can just pay straight from the thing. So there you go. What a quick little wrap up of some invoicing tools.
Actually, it was funny. I was trialing a beta. One of my mates is writing invoicing software because he couldn't find a good one, and he did the whole signature verification thing. And on the Android device, there's a screen capture software that will actually, it's called Wait Till Contact, and what it does is it waits until something touches the screen and then actually records that motion.
Right.
So you can record signatures, and he was unaware of that. So now he's going to go through and completely redesign his program so that can't be captured that way.
Yeah, okay. Well, but anything can happen. You've got.
So there's always a way around it.
Yeah, of course. You've got the ATM scammers. What do they call them?
Yeah,
putting the
skimmers.
Skimmers. That's the one. Now I think
$3 eBay card readers.
Yeah. So I think we're just about at the end of the Christmas show. It hasn't been real Christmassy, has it? But have you got any more stories, Will, that you want to bring up before we go?
Not really. Just quickly, the new Galaxy Grand has been announced. It's a 1.2 gig dual core, 5-inch screen, 8 megapixel camera. So that's pretty cool. But the HTC is working on the new M7, which is actually a quad core 1.7 gigahertz Snapdragon. So that's insane. It's 4.7-inch 1080p screen, so that works out to at 5-inch 1080p works out to what's that? Something ridiculous now.
No, don't ask me.
It does say in here it's 469 pixels per inch, which is well above. I think Retina display is like 380 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
So it's above that. Yeah, so it's got a massive 2300 milliamp battery. It's also comes with, of course, wireless GPS all stuff. Android 4.2. Basically, it also comes with a Beats designed amplifier, which is so it's got a high quality audio chip in it, which both for listening to music and also for has technology called Clear Words. So it actually has it's the next stage up again from like noise cancellation in the microphone.
Oh yeah.
So it literally captures your voice and processes it to take the ambient noise out. So yeah, but I'll tell you what, a 1.7 quad core processor in a phone.
Yeah.
I mean, really? That's pretty nuts, really.
Yes. Well, it's got to do a lot of processing, and it's got to process all those invoices of yours, Will. So.
It's got a 2 megapixel 1080p front-facing camera and a 13 megapixel with a 2 f-stop 1080p rear camera. So
yeah, right.
It'll be interesting.
Yep.
Interesting to see. I mean, there's certainly. I mean, what's the battery life going to be? That's my question. Like 7 seconds.
Yeah, you turn it on, it boots up, and it goes.
yeah. Low battery. Please insert charger. Going into standby mode.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Will?
No, that'll do. That's enough. I've given them enough Android stuff. But yeah, it's going to be interesting couple of months coming up with all the new phones coming out and all the new devices. And look out for the Boxing Day sales. I've heard Harvey Norman's going to be doing some pretty good stuff from a friend of mine who's a manager. So
okay, right.
So yeah.
So yeah, as it gets to the stage these days, that everyone knows about the Boxing Day sales. Why not just wait? Till Boxing Day.
Well, it's kind of working the other way now. They're actually, what they're doing is they're not really getting extra stock in. They get in enough stock they're going to sell over Christmas, and they don't order more stock in for Boxing Day sales anymore. So they have incredibly, virtually cost price sales, but they might only have 2 devices in the store. So it really is like you do need to get there as soon as the door opens to get what you want to get, because there's a fair chance you won't.
Now, look, I've got one more story, and I think then Shane has got a little Christmas story for us. So my last little story is Twitter, and Twitter is where's my story about Twitter? Oh, here it is. Seinfeld fans go online to create a whole plot of nothing. Now, there's a Twitter account now has been set up called Seinfeld Today. So Seinfeld Today, it's been set up by 2 comedians, Jack Moore, who works for BuzzFeed as a sports editor and as a comedian. He told the Wall Street Journal he was inspired to create the account when fellow comedian Josh Gondelman, that's a funny name, that's probably why he's a comedian, sent out tweets from his own account that dropped the Seinfeld characters into 2012. So what's happening is there's this account here, and all it does is they just tweet from it about pretty much what's happening in the Seinfeld world if they were still on the TV, if you know what I mean. So go and have a look at that. Twitter.com/Seinfeld Today. Jerry, Elaine, George and Kramer face all the pitfalls and challenges of life in 2012 and deal with LinkedIn, 50 Shades of Grey, molecular gastronomy and Fox News. So there you go, 160,000 followers in 3 days. It's up to about 288. So what I'd like to see from it, though, I'd like to see like fake Jerry, fake Kramer, fake George and all that, and them just, and
I'm sure it'll happen.
You subscribe to the 4 of them, and then and just follow their, some guy makes up their meanderings from day to day. All right, now Shane, you're gonna.
I have a question about that story though.
Yes.
So did they have to get permission from whoever owns the rights to Seinfeld?
No, they won't.
No, because it's done in jest, so you're allowed
parody.
to.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's probably all right. Now you've got a Christmas story. Why not for Christmas? And we'll get that MP3 queued up. All right.
There's your subtle hint, Will.
Will's in charge of the music tonight. What? We have music? Where? All right. So, Shane, what have you got? Your Christmas story. What's your Christmas story?
Yes. So we're all parents here, aren't we? Oh, Will, have you got kids?
No, not mine. I mean, I borrow some occasionally.
All right. So we all know about the NORAD service or government department who
Santa Tracker.
The Santa Tracker thing. Yeah, apparently they've been doing it for like 50 years or something.
Yeah.
Obviously a little bit before the internet. But yeah, since the internet in the last few years, they've been historically using Google Maps to track Santa. I've done it the last couple of years with the kids and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the eldest one's probably a little bit too old. And the story just goes on basically to say that this year they've switched to the opposition. They're going to use Microsoft Bing as their mapping service, and they're going to base it on Microsoft's cloud service, Azure, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah, Azure or something. Yep.
Azure, yep, which apparently is a type of blue. And yeah, they basically is just one big promotion, just to sort of say that we've gone from Google, gone to Bing. There's still going to be the same videos. There's phone numbers that you can ring. Apparently the command center, or what you want to call it, is going to be manned over the Christmas period to take phone calls for people who wanted to kind of get an update on what Santa's doing and where he's at. It goes on to give a whole bunch of stats about what happens during that time period. Tracking Father Christmas will be a big job for folks at the NORAD, for NORAD and Microsoft. Last year, for instance, NORAD tracked Santa's operations. Santa volunteers in Colorado Springs received more than 102,000 phone calls, 7,721 emails, and reached 20 million people in more than 220 countries through the NORAD Track Santa website.
Oh, there you go.
So all
There's
popular.
Also, a Android Santa Tracker app has just been released.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, there must be
the iOS one.
There's probably one for the iOS as well. But that's good. That's good. I'm going to get that one to the kiddies. They're excited. And I think this when does Santa come? This is only like about 3 days, 19 hours and 42 seconds. So there you go. That's probably American hours and days though, isn't it? Because it's
We're not going to have that conversation again, are we?
19 hours puts it at, like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So anyway.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We are having that conversation.
No, we're not.
Trying to.
No, we're not. So you know what it is. So Santa comes on, when is it? Tuesday. So hope he brings you everything that you have asked for and that you wish for. So good on you, Santa. He's going to have a busy night, isn't he? Very busy night. All right. So I think that brings us to the end of the show. So Will and Shane, thank you. Have a Merry Christmas. You guys.
You too.
You guys.
Yeah, get to see the in-laws. Yay. I mean, yes, it'll be fantastic. Of course it will.
Yes, and so we all wish you too a Merry Christmas, wherever you may be and wherever you may listen to us. I hope it's a great day for you next Tuesday. So, Will, from all of us here at Aussie Tech Heads, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Maybe not next week, but soon. Keep your eye out. Okay, until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Hey, what's up? This is Brad from Tech Webcast, wishing Glenn and all the other guys on the Aussie Tech Heads show a Merry Christmas, and playing some Christmas music in the background. Jacob, want to say what's up? And also we got his dad here, Basil. Hey, Basil.
A Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
and a very happy and safe New Year.
Good one. Thanks, man.
To all the Aussie Tech Head listeners, have a Merry Christmas and a very safe and happy New Year. Sorry I can't be with you tonight. Had a previous engagement, but I'm sure it'll be a damn good show as usual. And Merry Christmas to Glenn, Will and Shane, and I hope you have a great night. Speak to you soon.
It's just you and me, floating round and round.
Hi, it's Mark from The Den, just ringing to wish you all a Merry Christmas and congratulations on getting to episode 321, which I feel is very appropriate considering the Mayan calendar ends tomorrow, so that's like a countdown, 3, 2, 1, who knows what's going to happen. But on a brighter note, have a happy new year. Good to see the show still kicking, and I look forward to having you guys on The Den in 2013. All right, guys, peace out. Bye.
Never get the blues. Let's check all the Martian news. Baby, let's spend Christmas here on Mars.
Hey guys, this is Garth from iBlindTech.com. Just a quick Merry Christmas to all the Aussie Tech Head listeners. Hope you all have a great year and bring on 2013. Bye for now.
Baby, let's spend Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year from all of us here at Aussie Tech Heads. See you later.